Imagine waking up to find that global wealth is erased. Every bank account, sovereign debt, and physical currency note has vanished into the air. The financial ladder is gone. A salary no longer exists to distinguish the worker from the CEO, and the wealth of a billionaire becomes a historical curiosity rather than a source of power. At first, the promise of this world is staggering. Since money no longer dictates access, the local supermarket and the pharmacy become open-access hubs where food and medicine are distributed by need rather than by purchase. But this creates a problem that has never existed in the history of our species. If you no longer need to earn a paycheck to keep your lights on, why would you go to work today? For most people, the threat of hunger or eviction is the silent engine behind every commute and every late shift. Remove that financial pressure, and the engine stops. Erasing money doesn't just end poverty. It creates an immediate, massive vacuum where human motivation used to be. We rarely see the sheer volume of physical labor required to keep a city functional, the constant, heavy-duty maintenance that prevents our world from decaying. We rely on people to climb high-voltage towers in blizzards or descend into deep sanitation systems. These are dangerous, exhausting roles that people perform primarily because their survival depends on the income. If power plant technicians stay home, the grid becomes to fail. Glowing nodes blink out, sending darkness across the network. These failures expand quickly. National supply chains sever, leaving cities as isolated islands with no way to move food, water, or medicine. Our civilization is too complex to be maintained by volunteers. It requires a systemic way to ensure the most undesirable jobs are always completed. This is where the collapse is halted. In a world without money, autonomous AI and robotics move from being a convenience to being the vital replacement for human labor. As the survival incentive disappears, machines step into the void. They take over the dangerous, specialized maintenance tasks that biological humans are no longer willing to perform. This creates the automation layer. A dark gray base represents a self-sufficient foundation of machines handling all production. For the first time, our survival is disconnected from labor. The human experience detaches and floats independently of the need for work. The lights stay on and the food is produced, but humanity is left in a state that is both a liberation and a crisis, an existence where no labor is required. For millions of years, the human story was a struggle against scarcity. Now, that story has ended. We are the first generation of our species that doesn't have to work to stay alive. In this new economy, physical goods have no price tag because they are infinite. When everything is available to everyone, objects lose their ability to signify status or value. The only things that cannot be mass-produced by the automation layer are human creativity and novel ideas. These become our only finite and therefore valuable resources. The old economy was a tight loop of trading hours for survival. The new economy is an outward spiral, creating new paths. The goal shifts. We no longer work to avoid hunger. We work to invent, express unique perspectives, and solve abstract problems machines cannot. But this raises a question about who we are. Without the daily struggle for survival that defined us for millennia, how do we choose to define our own identity? We are moving into a world where we must find a way to create meaning and purpose within a state of absolute abundance.